This is the Iowa Weather Report for Friday, December 20th, 2013. Now our first look at the 0Z GFS model run. This is at noon today. We have this upper level system over the northern part of the Gulf of California moving into the desert south and west. This will be opening up and moving in our direction into a big system later this weekend. But we have this one appetizer system that's been bringing us a little bit of ice and snow and kind of rain and kind of a wintry mess across the area. It looks to continue through the early part of today, and then it'll be moving off to the east. Doesn't really clear off for Saturday as the system kind of just slowly sinks to the south. It'll still be mainly cloudy, except the far northwestern counties could see some clouds, but the system will begin to lift to the north and east later in the day Saturday. And when we take a look at the probabilities of seeing some snow, this is of 2 inches of snow or more beginning Friday evening through Sunday evening, and you can see the probabilities of seeing at least 2 inches of snow pretty good across the state except the northwest. This is of 4 inches of snow or more. Better chances in a swath from south central Iowa through southeast Iowa into east central and a little bit of northeastern Iowa as well, and into Wisconsin and northern Illinois. When we take a look at the probabilities of seeing 8 inches of snow or more, the probabilities drop to under 10%. Now, a lot of the watches you've been seeing, the winter storm watches, have been saying upwards of maybe 8, 9 inches of snow. So we have to think, could some of this be actually in the form of some freezing rain? Well, this is the probabilities of seeing some freezing rain. This is of 1/10 of an inch or more of freezing rain Friday evening through Sunday evening, and you can see southeast Iowa could see some freezing rain of 1/10 of an inch, maybe even 1/4 of an inch of ice, especially in areas south and east of a line from about Muscatine to Mount Pleasant to maybe Keosauqua or so. So there could be a little bit of ice involved with this system this weekend. When we take a look at the snowfall accumulations, this is off the 0Z GFS. You can see this dark blue area that extends across southeast Iowa up into northwestern Illinois and Wisconsin. That is snow totals of 8 to 10 inches of snow. Could that happen? It's possible. Could there be freezing rain that lowers it? That's possible too. And you can see here as we go back to the GFS, and this is Sunday at noon, the system is beginning to lift out. The heaviest snow by that point is now in the lower parts of Michigan, moving into Ontario. The low pressure center is about near Cleveland. And then that system just races off away. Lake effect snow in the Great Lakes. It just gets drastically colder. Monday, highs will be mainly in the single digits to maybe the lower teens. Lows will be sub-zero. On Tuesday morning, Christmas Eve morning, highs may struggle into the teens, maybe lower 20s as winds turn southwesterly ahead of another clipper that's going to be moving just to our north and northeast Christmas Eve night into Christmas Day. You can see that may bring a few flurries across the area Christmas Day morning. Otherwise, most of the snow and flurry activity will be to our north and east over Wisconsin and lower Michigan. And then the rest of the week, next week, looks fairly calm, at least at this point. Thursday looks calm, seasonally cool, highs in the 20s, lows in the single digits, most likely. No precipitation nearby, but this quick moving flow means that by next week at this time, there could be another clipper system moving through. You can see some energy with a bit of a trough axis and a short wave moving through with this fairly quick flow coming out of the north and west. And that means we could have a little clipper system bringing maybe a snow shower or a few flurries, a lot of rain possible in the south and east, and maybe another system well off to our north and west that may affect us later. A couple days later, as we go to New Year's Eve, you can see this looks fairly cold. A big polar vortex over Hudson Bay and up into northern parts of Quebec and the areas around Labrador. And you can see that means cold weather, highs likely in the teens, lows near zero, some snow to our north, maybe another clipper coming down across the Dakotas that may affect us on New Year's Day, and some snowy weather for New Year's Eve in the east. At the end of the forecast on January the 4th, we still have a flow a little more zonal. It's more coming out of the Pacific at this point, and that's going to bring the temperatures at least back up toward the 20s and maybe lower 30s by that point. Winds will turn southwesterly. The clipper systems will finally depart up to our north and northeast over the Great Lakes and into New England. And maybe we'll see a little bit of calmer weather as we go into the middle of January. Satellite image from last evening, we had a system moving through that was bringing that freezing rain, freezing drizzle, rains, snow, kind of a wintry mess across the area. Next system developing over the south and west. Watch warning map from last evening. Freezing rain advisories around here. Winter storm watches are on top of that. Some winter weather issues all across the country. Flash flood watches from Oklahoma northeastward into western New York. Elsewhere, it's quiet. QPF chart precipitation over the next 5 days through Tuesday evening or Christmas Eve evening at 6 o'clock, showing the heaviest rain where the flash flood watches are from Oklahoma northeastward into New York, with some decent amounts of precipitation around here.